You guys are in luck today because we're in process section here at Liebherr in Germany. And processes mean, well, two main topics here with Andreas today. It's the processes that you want to see if they can accomplish and the ones that they want to see if they can accomplish, which is kind of fun. So internal R&D, internal processes, and to find out what you think can be done, can they actually do it? We have a whole row of machines, as you can see here, which I think is quite fascinating because it's a lot larger than other facilities I've been to. And Andreas is the expert, so we're gonna learn a little bit more about how detailed they get in this process, how many people work in this area, how many machines are devoted to you. And before I keep doing my whole long-winded thing like I always do, let's get Andreas involved. Good to see you, buddy. How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. Thank you. How are you today?
Happy and grateful, man. Happy to be speaking with you. I did this tour with Peter, and this was the last part. And there's a machine over here that's never been seen before. I know we're going to go into detail on that in another video, but this was maybe of the entire hour-long tour we did, maybe the most exciting area. So I'm really happy to be with you today to learn a little bit more.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So let's first start with the processes that you guys do internally. And let's take a slow walk so the audience can see a few more of these machines, because there are usually around 10 different machines dedicated to internal processes and making sure that you're constantly improving, right?
Yeah, right. So as you know, Liebherr stands for innovation, and that means we need to test our innovations also in Kempten. And that is why we are really proud to having that test department with that high number of different machines and with that high number of different employees. And these employees are not just operators, these are really experts in what they are doing. They are in deep contact with our technology department. They are checking each process by themselves. They did it, most of them working already in their expert thing for over 10 years. So we are really proud that we have here the opportunity to test our machines for our developments and additionally doing customer tests.
As I look around, I see a lot of opportunity for, look, I'm a huge fan of research and development because we're doing things that have not been done before and testing to see if we can do those things, right? Yeah. As I look around, I see opportunities for conversation. Do you know any of the tests maybe that you liked the most in the past, or you see one that's going on that you didn't think could be done? Do you have a story that you can share with the audience of a process that you were like, this blew my mind?
Of course.
Of course.
I think there are many.
Yeah.
I think there are many. I think just name some of the most success stories we had. I think for the DC machines, so looking at that machines, there is a separate chamfer station. There was the time where we started to develop that chamfer cut station. Of course, we did the first tests here in the test department. 2 years ago, then we started to introduce the flex chamfer, which was an add-on for the chamfer cut. So all of that we tested here first in our shop floor. We developed the software, we developed the process, we developed the quality. That is one big example. Another big example, even if it's already a few years ago, we started for the grinding machines, or on that machine over there, the polishing, which was at that time pretty unique because nobody on the market had it at that time. And we had a big truck company, which was our partner at that time, and we developed that complete process together with them at that time. So that was really a big chance, big challenge, but we made it. And afterwards we sold several machines. So that's also kind of our strategy. Starting a development, testing it until everything is finished, and then going out to the market and spread it to the people outside.
That was actually going to be a little bit of my next question, Andreas, which is, have you ever heard that saying, which came first, the chicken or the egg?
Yeah,
you heard that?
Yeah.
So when you do these processes, is it internal competition to see if you can do something, or a lot of these tests, are they driven by customer requests to see if it can, which comes first, the customer request or the internal excitement?
I would say really it depends.
Yeah.
There are both of it because getting the customer requests and being successful, that's part of our job, so we need to do that. But there are also pretty good ideas in our development department, and in our develop department as you can imagine, there are many ideas and probably only some of them make it to the market. So to spread everything already out is not the best idea. So better to test it before. We have here the opportunity with the big manpower stuff and the machines. And if we are successful, then doing the next step. That's our strategy here.
It's a good example. It's a good strategy. So I wanted to start off with what you do internally. And you've already mentioned the strategy and you mentioned selling a few machines when you had a proven process here on this machine. Let's talk about the strategy a little bit more, because in my opinion, when I look around, and I know we're standing in a building that was made in 2011, I know it's 20,000 square meters, and a good portion of that has been developed for this process. To me, if I'm a customer watching this video right now, listening to our conversation, I immediately connect the dots and know that Liebherr is here to support me. They're not going to send me a machine that doesn't work. It's going to make sure that it's proven, precise, put together correctly. You mentioned 10 years of expertise. And if I have, let's say I have an issue that's more complicated than some of my other issues, you're able to work on that for me and prove it before making that sale if necessary as well. I love this turnkey center and you're proving before sales mindset. I like that a lot.
Yeah, you really got the point. You really got the point. I think there are two things. There are customer requests where we are 100% sure that we achieve it. So for us, we would not need the test. So then we can just prove it for the customer and tell them, okay, if you want to see that it is working, we can do it here. We have for each kind of technology at least one machine. So we can test, I would say, nearly everything. And we can show the customer that his process is really working. But then there are also requests from customer which are really on the edge of technical visibility, or probably more. There are requests where they tried in their shop floor, but they were not successful. And these things we can also check here in Kempten, because, as I said, we have our application group, we have development guys, we have long experienced guys in the test department. So it happened many times that we think, okay, this we can improve. We put it on the machine. Also for us, it was always a challenge, but after several days or several weeks, we improved the process. And that is also one big part of our job here, just to increase the productivity for our customers by doing tests and optimization.
That's why you're a global leader. You started in 1949, then you started the gears in 52 to support all the craziness and ideas of 49, and then you really got moving in 69, which is kind of a cool concept to understand with continual expansion. You don't do that thing without supporting the customer. You don't have that growth without supporting the customer. And this area is meant to stay at the forefront of engineering, the forefront of manufacturing, the forefront of ideas. I even heard, I get a lot of birds that whisper in my ear, Andreas. They tell me secrets before I start these conversations. But I even heard a rumor that you're getting mirror finishes out of gears inside of the machines at this point, which might even be unnecessary, but it shows that that type of process is coming, first of all. So it might be necessary coming soon, but it shows what you're capable of for anyone out there who questions, who do I go with? Who do I work with? Liebherr is the gear answer.
Yeah. I totally agree, and thank you for your words, but that is really the case. As you said, we are working also on a hard finish process, which we launch on the EMO. So you're pretty well informed.
Yes.
But this is also something we can test here in detail, doing optimization, and that is exactly what we discussed earlier. We want to go out to the market as soon as we know that this is working, not earlier, because we want to be a partner where a customer can trust. And yeah, as you said, customers are always our main driver here.
I like that you said that last part, Andreas. We're going to bring this conversation coming to a close, but I love that you said we want to be sure, because I can honestly tell you that I've been into places, machine shops around the world where something wasn't proven and they're really just crossing their fingers hoping that things work. In fact, I would say a lot of the machine shops I worked in, I was crossing my fingers as part of the process as well.
Okay,
so when I think about what Liebherr means, when I think about if I'm a potential customer, when I think about wanting to succeed and needing a machine to do the high demands of the artistic work that's done in the gear industry, knowing the amount of resources that you guys have put in to make sure that everyone watching, every new client, potential client, and existing client is taken care of for decades on end, and the machines last for decades, and you're proving it all, it really brings everything full circle to have the confidence to want to work with Liebherr if I'm a customer.
Yeah, and this is also what the things you mentioned are really why we are also proud in the sales to have that test department, because what we discussed earlier is checking the machine, optimization of processes, but a big part is having the chance with that huge test department to bring the customers in our company. And our company is really worth to show. We have many different machines, many different things to show, and this is really for us a huge chance also in sales to bring the customers to Kempten and then convince them from our products.
Yeah, it's lovely. It's the area is beautiful. The shop is amazing. I actually, you might not know this, but I turned in my resume this morning. I'm trying to get a job here. Are we still recording? Oh, we're still recording. I hope they didn't catch that part. Andreas, thank you so much for the conversation.
Yeah,
I love learning about research and development. I love learning about this for you and sharing it with you, because this is how we all build confidence to understand who we should work with. Some people are rolling the dice and hoping things work, and some people have developed 20,000 square meters of facility to prove it to you and make sure that you're taken care of.